Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to League 1, Season 15. It is Week 6. We've got one game for you this evening as the Navy midshipmen have a bye. But tonight we have the Duke Blue Devils, helmed by Daniel Jones, a contender for the ACC championship last season, up against the number 2 Syracuse Orange. And without further ado, we're going to take a quick look at the Duke Blue Devils roster with coach of the Syracuse Orange, Coach Spectre. Coach.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another exciting night of League 1 action. Duke visiting number 2 Syracuse at the Carrier Dome, led by quarterback Daniel Jones, a fifth-year redshirt senior, and 96 overall. He is off to a 138 rating. Doesn't run considerably that much. Britain Brown, an excellent halfback impact player at running back, although in their pass-heavy attack doesn't get too many yards rushing. He's included in the passing game, but certainly a dangerous player to watch out for. The wide receiver core is really downgraded from last season when they had a bunch of high 80s and 90s players. They have a youth movement going on. They're good young players. Two true freshmen and two true sophomores and a true freshman. So they could potentially punch above their weight, but not elite, have the potential to be very good. The tight end, an 83, certainly involved with 175 yards a game. We will be focusing on him on defense. The offensive line, an 83, an 82, an 84, an 87, and a 76. Mostly solid across the board, and the right guard should help to compensate for that right tackle, certainly in the passing game. Drew Jordan may or may not play. Okanya, a worthy backup. Victor Dimukege, the star right end, a 91. And defensive tackle, solid of unspectacular, a couple of 84s and an 83. The linebacking core, an 84 senior, 73 freshman middle linebacker. We'll have to take a look here and see if he's going to play or not. If not, there could be a cornerback in there. Both have low awareness. Might be an area of the field to attack. Right outside linebacker, Brandon Hill, an 84. And the secondary, the quality of the roster at Duke. Cornerbacks deep, goes down to 80 at the 4th, and he's a true freshman with 96 speed, along with an 86 and a couple of 83s, all redshirt seniors with good awareness. Senior free safety at 85 and a senior strong safety at 86 round out the strong secondary. Quality kicker on the special teams unit. Let's take a look real quick at the injury report and determine whether or not the defensive end and the middle linebacker will be playing. Jordan is probable, but Daniel Joyce out for 2 weeks. It's going to be a cornerback there playing middle linebacker. He will be good in coverage, but not against the run. Without further ado, we're going to hand the mic back over to the voice of Syracuse football, Coach Ninja, as we get underway.
Thank you, Coach Spectre. Back at you, Leon. I do hope you're feeling better. I know that, I did tell certain parental units that you weren't feeling great. So, hopefully they sent you well wishes. I'm glad to hear it. I hope you stayed home and stayed in bed and got some rest today. Yes, that is true. All right, and with that, we are looking ready to kick off the 99 overall Syracuse Orange against the 93 Duke Blue Devils. Yes, yes, it can be. A very good pass defense, as we'll see here in some numbers shortly, because of those corners and safeties for the Blue Devils. As you see, the Duke Blue Devils, they might be 96th in points scored, but 20th in points given up gives them the opportunity to win games, especially with the 6th overall pass defense. On the other side of the ball, you're looking at the top 5 points offense, yards offense, and rushing offense. Oh, top 6 rushing offense, I should say, for the Orange, and a top 4 rush defense for the Orange. A couple of visiting prospects here for the Orange. And as you see, Custis on a hot streak, along with Hoffrichter and Lofton, all 99s, up against Daniel Jones, Brown, and Dumukeje. Daniel Jones, the number 6 overall draft pick in the 2018 NFL Draft for your New York Football Giants.
EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Syracuse has looked almost unbeatable the last few weeks. They're finally playing the way they knew they could before the season started. You know how this game is. You're only as good as your last one. They're going to have to prove it on the field again today. Thanks for joining us here on the NCAA College Football.
Duke's first conference game of the season against the previous conference champion.
One of the most storied legacies in the history of college football.
I started my coaching career, I had a dream. And every decision that I made, that I will be the head football coach at Syracuse University. Undefeated, untied.
1959 national champions.
Syracuse has scored an undefeated season, and the team carries Ben Schwartzwalder off the field.
It's going to be the greatest victory that you kids have ever had.
Dozens of the most prolific and impactful players in the game. The first African American to win the Heisman Trophy. 6 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 53 All-America selections.
We need to make this place the hardest place to play in the country. We need you. We need everyone. This is our state, our town, our team, and we gotta win now. Go Orange!
Spanning more than 10 successful seasons and covering the country from California, Ohio, North Carolina, and Virginia. This is League 1 NCAA football.
Don't you let anyone steal history away from you.
Since 1889, this is Syracuse football.
Big things can happen for this offense.
And with a return to the 15-yard line, the Orange are going to begin the game with the ball.
So here comes the offense taking the field for the first time today. The quarterback in the gun, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers in the
And Lofton on a drag route catches the ball and moves up another 8 yards to get a great first down. And it's now 2nd and short. Every coach's favorite down and distance.
It's 2nd down, 1 to go. Ball on the 24-yard line.
Tanuvasa hands it off to Neal, who gets about a yard past the line of, 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, 1 yard past the first down marker. It's a new set of downs and not much more, but early in the game, that's what you're looking for from your running game.
First down, 10 to go.
On the left hash here, the Blue Devils in a 4-down lineman set against this Y trips Lofton leaps for it, and by doing so secures the catch and gets 3 yards on first down. Hand off to Neal. He gets 4 yards running up the middle out of the shotgun. It's 3rd and 3 now.
From their own 32-yard line. 3rd down.
Tanuvasa keeps it on the read option. He gets 5 yards and is wrapped up from behind after passing the marker. It's a first down.
They come out in an empty backfield.
Tanuvasa scrambles out of the pocket. There is green space. He crosses the marker and then out of bounds after 12. It's a good run there from Tanuvasa, and he avoids the tackle. On the right hash now, just a yard short of midfield. Tanuvasa keeps it. He gets outside the defensive tackle, but the safety comes down and limits it to a 2-yard gain. But that does move it into Blue Devil territory. Mo Neal, 11 yards through a wide gash in the defense thanks to great run blocking on first down. Tanuvasa throws it away out of bounds. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
From the 38-yard line. 2nd down. Fakes the handoff. Defense coming. Quick throw to the tight end. Tackle made.
This time, the scramble out extends the play and gives the opportunity to hit Bavaro. It's a 24-yard play after the yards after the catch. Great job by the tight end there.
It's the 11th play of the drive.
And it puts the Orange into the red zone. It's 1st and 10 now from the 14. Lofton's second leaping catch of the game over the middle, 4 yards on first down. Second and 6 now from the 10.
From the 10-yard line. It's 2nd down.
Shotgun halfback weak this time. Still 4 down linemen from the Blue Devils. Tanuvasa keeps it. He goes towards the edge and gets swallowed up after 3. 3rd and 3 now. They're on the 7. They've spent just over half of the quarter on this drive. 5 wide receivers now for the Orange on 3rd and 3. Tanuvasa doesn't like it, scrambles way deep, and throws it away. Going for the obtuse 3.
clock's at 0. They took too much time.
Delay of game, offense. Still 4th down.
And it looks like taking the delay of game to replace the kicker on short yardage and avoiding the acute angle of 4th and 3. It's a little bit easier from 4th and 8 for Knight here, the freshman. Between the uprights, and it puts the first points on the board for the Orange.
He really got a hold of that kick.
Blue Devils come out 5 wide and get 5 yards on first down before no huddling to second down. 2nd and 5. Halfback is left, no tight end. Back-to-back passes to Mike Ward, this one for 12 yards and a first down. Blue Devils continue to hurry up, as is their wont. Third pass to Ward. He breaks the first tackle, gets across the first down marker, and is pushed out of bounds.
Can they make a good throw under pressure when 1 or 2 or 3 guys are coming right at him? I think this young passer has proven that, yes, he can.
Hit as he throws, this time to Gray in the slot, 10 yards and tackled. And sprinting down the field are the Duke Blue Devils. David Harris this time with the 6-yard catch. Continuing to stay in the spread. Hit as he throws, and again to Noah Gray, 9 yards and a first down. And at the Orange 21-yard line, the Blue Devils finally decide to go to the huddle.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on the 21.
And that's the first incompletion of the game for Daniel Jones, the 6th overall draft pick in the 2019 NFL Draft by your New York Football Giants.
Here's the 8th play of the series.
Pistol. And Jones hands off to Brown, who gets a loss of 1 in the backfield. It's now 3rd and 11. And more no huddle for the Blue Devils. Jones forced out of the pocket and throws it, and the defender gets hands on it but deflects it instead of coming down with it. And the Blue Devils will be forced to make a field goal to tie the game at 3s.
Looking to tie things up. Kicks up, and they tack on 3 points.
Allworth deep in the end zone. Takes it out.
He's to the 10. And he's taken down.
And is clotheslined at the 15-yard line.
And so far, it's been totally even. In close games like this, every possession...
It's a shotgun split big now for the Orange. 2 tight ends, 2 halfbacks. Tanuvasa keeps it, breaks left, gets outside, crosses the line of scrimmage. He's beyond the secondary. This is a one-play drive. And Syracuse puts the first touchdown on the field.
Everyone I see just walks the walk with gritted teeth, but I just stand by and I wave by time they say you gotta toe the line. They want the water, not the wine, but when I see the signs, I'll jump on that lightning bolt.
Syracuse to kick.
And with 1:40 to go in the first quarter, it is going to be Duke's ball once again. Syracuse took a lot of time to get the first 3 points of the game. Duke upped the ante by taking about half that to get the next 3 points, and then Syracuse said, all right, hold my beer, and had a one-play touchdown drive. And they follow it up with a 9-yard sack on Daniel Jones, the 6th overall draft pick in the 2018 NFL Draft by your New York Football Giants.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
1-yard line. The Blue Devils were really excited when they...
And Hudson, this time he dropped the last one that went into his hands, but he came down with this one, and that's a pick in incredible field position on the opponent's 31-yard line with 1:12 to go in the first. Lofton in motion left to right, but the seam is wide open. Tommy Tanuvasa runs in the second running touchdown of the game for the Orange. 116 yards, 2 touchdowns on 2 carries.
By the power of Grayskull.
Became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Only 3 others share this secret.
Defensive effort. They have a plan, they understand it, they're playing with great speed, and they're not giving up big plays. That's why they're playing well up to this point.
Well, let's see if he can shake off that pick that he tossed last time out.
And I don't think this defense will lay down lightly. They're going to try to continue.
Continuing to be 4 wide, single back here for Jones and the Blue Devils. And this time Champ Bailey is the defender who gets his hands on it, as the Blue Devils wanted a big chunk. They were looking for that, 3-point distance. Coach K coming in and giving them inspiration. But you know what? Zion Williamson and 4 schmucks is not a way to run a football team. As they hand it off this time to Britton Brown, and he gets 11 yards and a first down. Playing it in the paint for once. Back-to-back handoffs to Britton Brown. He gets 10 yards this time, but they call it inches short And we see hurry up as they want to get to the paint here at the letters. And they go to Brown again, but this time in the attempt to go outside to the far side, loses 2 yards. It's 3rd and 2 now.
So it's 3rd down, and they've got about 2 yards to go.
Devereaux in the backfield now. There's a tight end, but he is outside. And Ball coming across on the slant has 2.5 yards on his defender, gets the catch. It's 18 yards and moves into orange territory. Harms this time comes from right to left on a slant of his own, and that's the 8th completion of the game for Daniel Jones. In the pistol now. Ball short. It's a 5-yard gain. And that's the end of the first quarter.
We've played 1 quarter. Syracuse leads 17-3.
Second and 5 now, and we see 2 tight ends in a 5 wide, and they hand the ball off to Britton Brown, but the defender gets a hand on him and spins him, causes it to stay short. It's now 3rd and 3. And they go to the traditional shotgun flex. Jones doesn't like it, but he waits for Harris. Harris gets 14 yards. They call it 1st and goal. And there's a hurry up. And the reception is out of bounds. Goal line defense from the orange. It is a passing play. The defender gets a hand in. The tight end goes up for it but can't hold on. That's a great defensive play. Now seeing a very heavy set. 3 tight ends from the Blue Devils.
This is where the defense makes a name for themselves. It's 3rd down and goal from the 1.
Tight end motions. And it's a short pass to Noah Gray, the number 1 tight end. And it's going to make it a 1-score game. Less than a minute into the second.
He makes the PAT. A 12-play, 76-yard drive, and they come away with a touchdown. And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. He sends this one.
Schumacher, left side of the end zone, catches it, brings it out. Good blocking, gets past the 25 to the 27. As a kickoff team guy peels off his blocker. Does a good job there. 1st and 10 now from their own 27.
Momentum swings have been fairly even.
For the orange.
So little separation. This game can be drastically changed.
And they come out 4 wide receivers, 1 back.
Up 7 points.
And they hand off to Neal. He goes between the guard and the tackle and gets 4 yards. As one of the defenders does a good job of peeling off the offensive lineman to secure the tackle.
2nd down and 6. Ball on the 32-yard line.
Shotgun split, no tight ends this time. And Mo Neal sheds a defender, but it is still a 5-yard loss as the triple option there gets burned hard. It's 3rd and 11 now. Well, they're on the left hash. The Orange come out in the eye. They've got 4 down linemen against them. They fake the handoff. They wait for it, and Bavaro, they had to wait for the transfer of defense. As you see, the defenders switch from who's defending the fullback to who's defending the tight end there, and they needed to wait to extend the play, but it gave them the first down. With the pass to Bavaro, they're now 6 yards short of enemy territory. Neal takes the handoff, gets a 3-yard gain. Shotgun split again. This time it's a passing play. Neal comes out of the backfield on the angle, gets 8, and moves into Blue Devil territory. Mo Neal on the spot curl. Great job getting 7 and taking the ball down when the zone coverage moves to him. Great job there to sit in for just the right second, the space between the zones, get the catch, get 7 yards, and move to 2nd and 3. And it's a handoff to Metcalf. With 14 yards, they weren't expecting that on 2nd down, and that's a great compliment to the 1st down pass. First and 10 now on the 24 for the Orange. Shotgun Y trips. Tenuvasa moving out of the pocket. He slips up the sidelines and steps out of bounds after 9. It's 2nd and short.
And this is the 9th play of the current drive.
Hand off to Neal out of the I formation, gets 5 yards. It's 1st and goal now from the 10. 4 minutes left to go in the 2nd quarter with a live clock.
First down, and they've got their eyes on that goal line.
Tenuvasa under center, 2 tight ends, fullback and halfback behind him. Bavaro, moving from left to right, gets 5 yards on the drag route. 2nd and goal now from the 5 as they take half of the distance out of the defense.
They're at the 5. It's 2nd down. Syracuse is up 7.
Shotgun ace here, 2 tight ends, single back. The defender plays close to the halfback, running on the angle route, and gets a hand in for the deflection. It's now 3rd and goal from the 5.
This is the 12th play of this drive.
5 wide receivers, 4 down linemen. Tenuvasa scrambles out, likes the gap that his defenders give him, and that is a touchdown.
When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Danger. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Danger. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Danger. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Danger. When the East is in the house. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And now, down by 14, the Blue Devils have 3:22 to respond with.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
Brad, this is my kind of game. I love seeing this kind of production and the way these quarterbacks are playing. Both teams are challenging both of these defenses.
You think about the challenges these two teams are facing. On one side, you've got to find a way to keep building on your lead, and on the other side, you've got to find a way to get back in it.
And the pass rush forces Daniel Jones to throw it out of bounds. Daniel Jones, the 6th overall draft pick to the 2018 NFL Draft by your New York Football Giants.
From their own 25-yard line. Second down.
And the handoff to Brown is a loss, and it makes it 3rd and long now at 3:14. But still a hurry up from the Blue Devils. And Tracy Porter gets a hand in, forcing the incompletion, and Blue Devils will punt. It is a 3 and out.
Everything they planned for, and it's all working.
Everything is coming together for this offense. They seem to be getting better with each series. And, you know, this game started where this team was, you know, they wondered if they were going to be able to move the ball against this defense. And I think right now, I think they seem to, as I said earlier, they seem to be growing with their confidence with each possession.
On play action, defense coming. He's taken down at the 41-yard line.
Tanuvasa chased and makes a great pass to Bavara.
Ball on the 41.
Now in enemy territory. And pursued from behind, Tommy Tanuvasa gets 6 yards on first down. Just over 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. And a fantastic 21-yard run on 2nd and 5. Great run blocking there from number 17, Jamal Custis.
From the 14-yard line, it's first down.
Tanuvasa with the quarterback keeper. Makes a great pitch, and Mo Neal gets the extra 5.5 yards for the touchdown. A textbook pitch play.
Seen some big upsets, and that one would measure right up with the best of them. Looks like they're ready for the kick. Sends it sailing downfield. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Things are on the verge of getting out of hand before we even hit the half. These next few drives are going to go a long way in determining what kind of game this will end up being.
Jones in the backfield with the screen pass. Britton Brown 5 yards and out of bounds.
From their own 30-yard line, second down.
Green almost there, but the pass to Ward, and it's the first reception to Ward in quite a while. He had 3 to begin the game. This is only his 4th as the Duke Blue Devils now hurry up after completing 1st and 10. Jones waiting for it.
Now he's scrambling.
And the defender, Cordell Hudson, that's his 2nd deflection of the game. He dropped 2 possible incompletions, but he's young. No, he's a senior? I'm sorry, Cordell Hudson with not the hands that we would like, but, you know, he plays close coverage, and that's honestly more important as it's now 2nd and 10. And the defender comes in through for the sack.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
Brad Edwards this time with his 1st deflection of the game. A lot of deflections throughout the secondary for the Orange, as is makes sense for the high-power passing game of the Duke Blue Devils. And as they now punt to Schumacher. Schumacher attempts to break left. He breaks 1 tackle and gets to the 45-yard line. Almost 3 times as many yards on the ground as through the air for the Orange tonight.
It's still only the 2nd quarter. We got a lot of football left, but I got to say,
4 down linemen, shotgun ace here. 2 tight ends. Lofton comes in motion left to right. And Tommy Tanuvasa gets wrapped up by the defender who breaks off of the defensive end. No, sorry, the offensive tackle. That's a broken defense, and it loses 2 yards.
from their own 42-yard line, it's second down.
2nd and 12 now, 5 wide receivers. Tanuvasa waiting, scrambling out. And deep into space, Metcalf with nobody playing close. That is a big exploit in the defense. No one was there.
Nicely designed play to the wide receiver, and it got him 6.
And it's now going to be, after the extra point, an 18-point game.
As a quarterback, you just don't want to blow it. That's like having a wide open layup with nobody behind you.
A 28-point game for the Orange.
But I won't stop now. Can't stop. Cause I can't stop now. You can hate me. You can hate me now. I hate you too. But I won't stop now. Come on. Come on. Cause I can't stop now. Come on. You can hate me now. You can hate me. Do it now. You can hate me now. Do it now. I told you do it now. Let's go.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. The offense takes the field again.
Duke is now down by 28. We can expect a change in their play calling from them and Daniel Jones as they attempt to catch up with 1 minute left to go in the 2nd quarter. And the Blue Devils call their first timeout.
Seeing the whole field and finding the guy who had the best chance of making a catch.
So it's second down and about 2 yards to go.
And Daniel Green gets through to Daniel Jones. Makes it 3rd and 10. Britton Brown gets 4 yards, and it's a timeout on 4th down here from the Orange. Syracuse looking to steal some points here. The punt goes up. Schumacher underneath it. Punt takes 6 seconds off the clock. There are 10 seconds, no timeout for the Syracuse Orange. They're on their own 34-yard line.
The offense really came up with a nice drive there last time out, and most of those yards came.
They're about a yard and a half to the right of the midline.
The line needs to put more pressure on the quarterback, and the defensive backs need to stick it to these receivers with tighter coverage.
Mark Bavaro, 13 yards. It costs 6 seconds. They're now at their own 47.
Ball on the 47. I guess he'll throw this one as far as he can and hope for a
Tanuvasa under center again in the eye. Back to Bavaro. Catches it. 17 yards out of bounds. It is 2 seconds on the clock. This is going to be a 56-yard field goal? Something like that. In the depth chart, making sure that the leg, the big leg, Hofrichter, is in the game. This is a 53-yard field goal. I was wrong by about 11 yards.
3 points up on the board. Syracuse looking to add to this big lead here. The kick is up. It's got the distance.
And that is a fantastic 16-second steal of 3 points for the Syracuse Orange. It's a 31-point game.
We've played a half of football here. Syracuse got a huge lead.
Hi, everybody. Glad to have you with us on the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 halftime show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Reese Davis, David Pollack here in the studio as always to lend a little perspective to what just went down in the first 30 minutes. This game looks like blowout city. I don't think I'm crazy, David Pollack. I don't think it's taking up residence in blowout city. I think it's just passing through and visiting. We might have a comeback in store in the second half.
Well, I think you're crazy, and you need to go to the halfway house and visit and stay for a while, because this game isn't going anywhere back the other direction. It's over. Put the women and children to bed. Go find something else a little bit more entertaining. Open a bag of chips. You know, start another season of something else, because this one's a wrap.
There's going to be a comeback.
So you're saying there's a chance.
David and I will be keeping an eye on your game and everything else going on in the country here in our palatial and comfortable surroundings in the studio. The best seat in the house belongs to Brad Nessler in Kirkherb Street.
All right, a quick look at the halftime stats here as I go into the wrong damn section. All right, so it is 41-10 at the halftime. We've got 13-9 on first downs and a total offense of 410 to 126. The Blue Devils, on a total of 10 attempts, including sacks, have -2 yards on the ground, whereas Syracuse has 20 attempts on the ground for 229 yards. That is the bulk of both their offensive yards and their touchdowns, 4 opposed to 1. Through the air, the most productive section of the game for the Blue Devils, they are 14 for 21 and 1 for 24 and 1 touchdown, whereas the Orange are 12 for 15 and one touchdown. But the yardage is the only place that the Orange are getting yardage, 128 passing yards as opposed to 181 passing yards. Third down conversions is 3 for 7 for the Blue Devils as opposed to 3 for 4, which is a significant differential. And while both teams are 100% in the red zone, there's only been one attempt in the red zone for the Blue Devils, and there's been 3 for the Orange. The turnovers are 1 interception thrown by the Blue Devils, and the time of possession tells you the bulk of the story. It's been 5:43 for Duke and 10:17 for the Orange. Looking at players, Tommy Tanuvasa is 12 for 15, 181, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 80%, which is a rating of 203. Daniel Jones, on the other hand, who was the number 6 overall draft pick in the 2019 NFL Draft for your New York Football Giants, is 14 for 24, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a completion rate of 58%, which is pretty terrible, even if the average is 9.1. On the ground, Britton Brown has an average of 3.2 despite a long of 11. And Jones, with 3 sacks, has lost almost 8.5 yards per sack. Jones not liking to run the ball himself, which is not the case for Tommy Tanuvasa, who has 11 attempts and 177 yards, no sacks on the ground. That is the vast majority of the running game, although the 8 handoffs to Mo Neal for 4.7 yards a carry and the 1 to Metcalf for 14 yards complementarily has a still good running game for the Orange. Receiving, it is Bavaro, the tight end, who has the bulk of the yards for the Orange this evening at 94, with 16 for Lofton, 15 for Neal, Metcalf for 58, and that's a big explosion play because Metcalf and Neal are both half-backs. On the other side for Duke, Ward had 3 receptions to begin the game and then got swallowed up as it had to be spread around to Harris, Gray, and Ball. And while they're spreading it around, they're not getting enough on any single drive. Defensively, Hudzik is the leading tackler at corner, and Carter the second is the second with Tangelo. From Syracuse, it is Green coming through as left outside linebacker. You'll notice he's playing a lot of defensive end, and Roll, the free safety, coming in and bottling things up. Those are your halftime stats. As you can see, it is 41-7 here at the half. Hofrichter with the kickoff. Wallace with the knee.
And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Syracuse, the type of team you look at them, it looks like their defense sort of just feeds off itself.
I think the energy is there, Brad, but I think it really starts up front with their defensive line and their linebackers, the way they're being able to just win the battle at the line of scrimmage. I think it's giving them confidence. It's allowing them to play more downhill where they can attack this offense.
It's a 4-wide set here for the Blue Devils. They hand it off to Brown. He can't escape, and it's a 4-yard loss on first down. Thanks to Troy Henderson Jr.
We've got a 2nd and 14. Ball on the 21-yard line.
Back-to-back handoffs to Brown, and this one's a 3-yard loss. It makes it 3rd and a mile and a half. Here to begin the 3rd quarter. And the deflection there by the defensive lineman forces the 3 and out and the punt. Michael Schumacher moves it into enemy territory, and the Orange are going to start on the Blue Devil 44-yard line now.
Also throw the football effectively. I love to see that this guy now has the ability to be aware of when to get out of the pocket. His ability to improvise.
Shotgun split big. Tanduvasa keeps it, gets outside. There's a safety that he spins around and gets a fantastic run. He gets to the 13-yard line, they call it. It's a massive run on the quarterback keeper on the triple option.
Let's see if they can build off that great run.
Tanduvasa now under center in the eye.
Holding that commanding lead.
Ooh, and he is chased closely and loses 7 yards. That play was blown up.
They find themselves in a hole here after that sack. It's 2nd and long.
Shotgun wide trips here. Neal. Ooh, with a great spin move, he gets 13 of the 17 needed for the first down. It's now 3rd and 4. Five wide receivers on 3rd and 4. Tanduvasa scrambles, sees the gap, and runs upfield for the touchdown.
You've got to like it when your leader takes things into his own hands, especially down inside the 10.
Move aside and let the man go through. Let the man go through. Move aside and let the man go through. Let the man go through. Move aside and let the man go through. Let the man go through. Move aside and let the man go through. Let the man go through.
And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. Sends it sailing downfield. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. Duke's having a hard time doing anything on offense right now.
Well, they've had some opportunities, but they either turn the ball over or obviously don't execute on 3rd down, and they're forced to punt, or their drive ends up stalling in a 4th down. But they're moving the ball at times. I think they've just got to take some chances at this point late in the game like this. Throw the ball downfield and hope that your receivers can make some plays.
Gets it out to his receiver in a hurry. He goes out of bounds at the 32.
Gray gets hit out of bounds for 8.
That makes it 2nd and 2.
Mike Ward's 5th reception of the game for first down. Evan Foster with a hand in on the deflection there on 1st and 10. It's now 2nd and 10.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball on the 39.
Bretton Brown loses 2 yards on 2nd and 10. It's now 3rd and long.
Schmidt awaits the snap. Fields it at the 26.
There is a flag on the play. Schumacher makes the dive.
Let's check out the penalty.
Personal foul. Clipping. Receiving team.
Clipping moves him way back.
Way to make up those yards right here. From their own 28-yard line, it's 1st down. Syracuse with a big advantage.
Mo Neal up the middle on 1st down. It's 7 yards.
Neal gets 7 yards on the play.
2nd and 3 now. Tanuvasa with a fantastically timed pitch. Oh, that was fantastic. That was incredible blocking and a great pitch for a huge play. That was phenomenal. That was really something.
So it's 1st and 10 after the big run.
Hand off to Metcalf. He goes up the middle. He gets 4. Tanuvasa under center now in the eye. Fakes the handoff, scrambles out, and Bavaro.
if he was able to get a foot down or not.
After review of the play,
Bavaro with the NFL catch.
The only thing left to say about this play is that was an excellent catch.
And he converts the extra point. So a 4-play.
And with 3:01 to go in the third, it is now a 45-point game.
Looks like they're ready for the kick. He really got a hold of that kick. And it goes into the end zone, down for a touchback. Syracuse coaches just got to be happy. I'd love to coach a kid like this.
Oh, I think these coaches love to coach a guy like this, and another great performance by him individually and for this offense.
I hope they show some fight here and try to stay competitive. If you're going to get blown out, you at least want to go down swinging. Throws it out right to the running back. And down he goes at about the 20.
Britton Brown tackled after a 2-yard gain on the screen pass. The Blue Devils here looking for anything that works. Back-to-back screens. This time they lose They lose 3 yards. It's one more than they gained last time. It's 3rd and 11. Jones wasting too much time in the pocket. Couldn't find what he wanted, and Green comes through and takes out his knees. It's a sack. It's 4th and 18. Jones, the 6th overall draft pick in the 2019 NFL Draft for your New York Football Giants, taking a beating here at the hands of the Syracuse Orange. We can only hope. Schumacher, with a good return, gets past midfield. He gets a 16-yard return. .47-yard line of their opponents, and a 1:45 to go in the third.
Do you think we'll see the same result on this one?
They ran the ball extremely well on their last drive.
Flexbone here from Tommy Tanuvasa. Metcalf in motion left to right.
And he's taken down around the 48-yard line.
And it is blown up for, well, a 1-yard loss.
From the 48-yard line. 2nd down. 5 wide.
Tommy Davis scrambles and throws up. And Anderson with a 41-yard pass.
It's 1st down, and they'll be looking for 6 points here. Syracuse comes to the line. They've got a big advantage.
Shotgun halfback weak. 1st and goal from the 6th. Tommy Tanuvasa keeps it on the read option. Decides to move inside and gets stuffed after a yard.
Only picks up about a yard there on the option. That brings up 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal from the 5 and 6 inches. Tanuvasa to Lofton. who dives forward for the touch.
That's TD pass number 3.
The one thing this quarterback does a nice job of is taking what the defense.
It's automatic, baby. Good. And it feels so good. Good. And it feels so good.
Spoiled things for Notre Dame. The Eagles and the Irish in the battle for the Ireland Trophy. This is a game we've been watching closely all day long. These two teams hate every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Plenty of scoring, but we might as well be 0-0, tied at 28.
Well, we've seen some big upsets, and that one would measure right up with the best of them. They line up to kick this one away.
Yes, it does.
Nice kick, plenty of distance.
Jackson takes the knee. There's 22 seconds remaining in the third.
He's been all over the field for this defense.
Yeah, he's just got a knack for coming up with a big play. I think it has a lot to do with the way they're pressuring the quarterback. They're just doing a great job as a unit and not allowing this quarterback to get into any rhythm.
You've got to think that one reason they are ahead is because of the boost he's given them. Not a whole lot's been working for them so far. They should just come out and play loose and easy because they've got nothing to lose. Runs it, and he's stopped short of the line of scrimmage.
Britton Brown loses 2 yards on the play.
From their own 23-yard line, it's second down. He gets to about the 31-yard line. That's 3 down and 1 to go. Syracuse running away with it.
And that's a massive 3-and-out to begin the fourth quarter. As we now see the Orange take over. They audible out of the split big, and Mo Neal with a fantastic 18-yard reception after the 3-yard drag route. He moves upfield for another 15. And they're now in enemy territory.
Syracuse looking to put this game away if they score here. Big opening. He's in the 30. He's in the 20, the 10.
Incredible run blocking on every level. Every level, just great run blocking to get that fantastic about 37-yard run. Sorry, 44. 44-yard touchdown run. Just fantastic.
Syracuse
Ooh, and a miscue there cost Syracuse the timeout. And a massive play by Ward breaks a number of tackles to move it down to the 30.
It's time that they step up and prove it on the field. Forget about talking trash. Let's see how they react after giving up that big play.
And Jones gets his legs taken out from under him by Green.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Defense looking for another sack in this second down and long situation.
And this time Jones throws it away. He's now 20 for 33. 3rd and 18 now on the 40-yard line. There's 6:30 to go, and they're down by 59 points. That is a lead that I do not know has been surmounted in football. And Hudson, with his second interception of the game, jumps the route. And Mo Neal gets 5 yards on the first down after the interception. Metcalf, the halfback out of the backfield this time, gets 7 yards on the first down. Moves it to their own 32 as we now see a shotgun split big from the Orange offense. Tanuvasa waits for it. Metcalf with a leaping catch. It's a 4-yard gain. Handoff to Mo Neal on 2nd and 6. Gets about 9 yards. It's 1st and 10. Mo Neal now with 100 yards, 107 yards this game.
We've got a 1st and 10. Ball on their own 45.
Shotgun split big now, just shy of the letters. Tanuvasa keeps it and moves 3 yards forwards onto the paint. 2 yards shy of enemy territory, 2nd and 7. Scrambles out and passes to Custis for a big gain through the air. 25 yards, Custis' first reception of the game. And Tommy Tanuvasa once again gets points on the ground, running out of the middle slant.
Yeah, and when the secondary isn't dropping back into zone, it makes it difficult to have success with that kind of screen play.
And he's tackled at the 30-yard line. Scrambling around, and they got it.
They need to run some screens and some quick slants to take advantage of
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot out.
Deep in enemy territory, there looks like there's a flag on the play.
That comes up with a tackle. Flag down, and I'm not sure when it was thrown. Let's find out.
Receiving team.
Puts them back to their own 39.
Still first down.
But down by 66 with 2:21 in the game. It's a matter of first downs and the game is over.
39-yard line. First down.
5 wide receivers for the Orange. Tanuvasa scrambles out. There's a lot of open space. And he slides after about a 21-yard gain.
Decision-making ability of this quarterback. He looks and looks. He sees nothing. He didn't get rattled. He sees some green in front of him, and he takes off. Ends up with a great run.
Live clock now on the opponent's 37. Still, nope. It's 4 wide, 1 back. Handoff is to Neal from Tarkenton. And he gets first down, 14 yards. Tanuvasa now under center in the I. Under 2 minutes. Scrambles out to Bavaro. Bavaro gets to the 7-yard line before being forced out of bounds. Great pass on the run by Tanuvasa.
It's first down, and they'll be looking.
1:45 to go. Tanuvasa in space. Out of bounds after 2.
The 5-yard line. Tanuvasa gains about 2 yards on the scramble. Kill. 5 wide. He's scrambling. Keeps it, and he's got a touchdown. Syracuse staff is
And cuts the corner. It's 82 points so far for the Orange. Tommy Tanuvasa 300 yards rushing this game against the Duke Blue Devils.
And he converts the extra point. Looks like they're ready for the kick.
Off Richter. Puts it deep in the end zone. Wallace with the knee. It's 135. 3 timeouts and 73 points.
Both teams are playing out the stretch here. You want to get experience for guys who normally don't get in the game and try to avoid injury. Just under 2 minutes in the game.
Brown once again tackled for a loss. Second and 14. We'll see how much time gets taken off the clock.
From their own 21-yard line.
Live clock at 1:20. Ace. And Brown handoff. And 2-yard gain to make it 3rd and 12.
We'll take a timeout. That's their second of the half. So the halfback gets only 2 on the draw play.
3rd and 12 now. 4 wide receivers. Halfback left. Jones in the pocket has time. Goes to Brown coming out of the backfield. It's a 22-yard reception. It's the halfback's 7th catch of the game and most of his yards. Under a minute in the game.
And for Green, he's equaled the NCAA record for most sacks in a single game.
Well, I will say this is a game where the defense knew what Duke was attempting to do, and the offense knew what Duke's defense was going to do. And you may have just missed it, but the quarterback for the Syracuse Orange has just over 300 yards rushing in the game through a combination of scrambles and read and triple option. That is what this is. It's taking what they can get and being very mean to the Duke Blue Devils. But every so often, David Harris or someone else makes a good catch, particularly on a slant, as has been the want of the Blue Devils. Spectre is the coach, so I am Coach Ninja. I do the play-by-play for the Syracuse Orange, and Coach Spectre is actually playing on the sticks because we're part of a 10-person league, and it is competitive, and you can't both do commentary and play the game at the same time. So, Spectre is the head coach of the Syracuse Orange, and as you can see, he's been very mean to the Duke Blue Devils this season. He played them twice last year in the regular season and again in the ACC Championship.
He's at the 30, and it's caught. That's a great tackle at the 22-yard line.
And with that is the end of our game. It ends with a massive blowout. Tommy Tanuvasa and the Syracuse Orange beating the Duke Blue Devils. Tommy Tanuvasa 300 and 300 on both sides of the ball. And just you know what? The Blue Devils had a really good offense for the first quarter, and then it got slowed down, and then they started going to the sidelines, and it couldn't keep up. And so, Titanic Gamer, to answer your question, no. We've got 10 players that we know and that we really like that have done a lot of work to be a part of this league and that are actually all real life friends of ours that we know in person. So we've spent 15 seasons building this league, and we've got a great set of rules and a great set of teams. So it is not something that we are opening to new players, but we put it online because it's great for other people in our own league to be able to see that game film and learn things and keep all of us together more competitive, as you see an absolute demolition of the Duke Blue Devils. And I will tell you that previous teams, and that you can go back and watch on, if you go to YouTube and search for League 1 NCAA football, you'll find a couple of previous seasons where the Duke Blue Devils played the Syracuse Orange that are not this blowout. They had a much better performance in seasons 14 and 13. But that is because, as you have seen, we play on the most difficult sliders that we have been able to find that are competitive, that are interesting to play on, and we still, even then, restrict our recruiting in order to make things interesting. But we're glad to have you join us. This is, unfortunately, because I, the voice of the Syracuse Orange football, but am the head coach of the Navy Midshipmen, I've got to bye this week. So we only have a single game for you this evening. But next week, next Friday, expect to see a double header of both Navy and Syracuse. And a dominant performance, 211 yards to 780 yards on offense, and some player stats. Tommy Tanuvasa adding another 42 to his rating after being 200 and a half at halftime. And 303 on the ground. A fantastic example of taking what they were giving you, because they gave you the scramble on all of your 5-wide passing plays. And you took the option plays. But if we can... Bavaro had a great game, the tight end, for 122 yards. And Green with 16 tackles. And Hudson with 2 picks. So we are slowly adding more of our archive of games onto our YouTube channel, YouTube League 1. League 1 with no space, League 1, single thing, single word. If you search that, add NCAA football to it, you should find us. You should be able to see our last couple of seasons. We'll add more to that over the course of the next few weeks, and you can watch how competitive this league is and enjoy it. And we play 1 game per week. We should have a doubleheader next Friday. If we take a look at our schedule here, sure. So the teams currently in the league: Syracuse, Buffalo, Hawaii, Washington, Indiana, Ohio, Appalachian State, Central Michigan, Navy, Fresno State, and Eastern Carolina. And the games that will be on this Twitch channel next week, week 7 of our 15th season, are Navy at Memphis. Syracuse is on a bye, so we've got another 1-game week next week, Navy at Memphis. But we thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed this game of Duke at Syracuse. We hope to see you again in the future. And as the head coach of the Syracuse Orange says, good luck next week. Kick its ass.